Love is as important as water for the human being. Love is essential for people to feel connected with others. It's important for mental health to form connections with other people. Those connections express love, care, and affection. We learned in the previous video that love is an essential emotional need of all human beings at every single stage of the life cycle. So, if love is so important and so needed, the question is, why do some people not feel loved? Sometimes people will say, my mother doesn't love me, my father doesn't love me, or sometimes they'll say, my child doesn't love me. And then sometimes both don't feel like they're loved within the relationship. Love is a choice. And when love is a choice, it's going to be a choice to learn the other person's way of expressing love so that you can also express that love to them. You can speak their love language to them so that they know and can register that they are being expressed love, care, and affection. Because see, what happens is that sometimes within a household, let's say of 5 people, they can all have different combinations of love languages. And sometimes there's a feeling of one person being more connected with another person within the family. And sometimes that's due to their love languages, right? They will speak words of affirmation to one another, and they know that they're being loved because they're both giving and receiving the same type of love language. But when a third member of the family's love language is physical touch or an act of service, but all they hear are words of affirmation like thank you, I really appreciate that, or you're so great, you're so fuerte, you're so strong. They're hearing these compliments to them. But what they really desire is a hug or someone to help them with something. But they're receiving words of affirmation or they're being given a gift, right? So when these different love languages are being constantly expressed, but that's not the language that the person you care about really enjoys receiving, there's going to be that emotional love tank is going to get on low and can cause someone to feel unloved or can cause someone to feel like the other person doesn't care for them because they're not showing that love in the language that they need to hear. Love is a choice, and learning a language is a choice, and a choice that sometimes can be challenging to speak because for some people, they might flow in words of affirmation, but it's really hard for them to give someone a hug or to make time to spend time with them. Maybe they're too busy doing acts of service that they don't have time to spend, right? So it's going to be important to really identify your love language and the one of the people you care about, and then make the choice, because love is a choice, and you'll have to learn a different love language and choose to speak one that might be challenging for you. These love languages, they kind of work like regular languages in the sense that when you're expressing your own natural love language, say words of affirmation or an act of service, you're constantly giving this. That's easy for you. That's your natural love language. But people who speak physical touch or quality time, they might, be happy that you said thank you, I appreciate you, or that you did something nice for them. They might appreciate it, but it doesn't excite them. It doesn't register as fully, as completely as if you said, you know what, Saturday, we're going to spend the whole day together. Or you were so thankful and gave them a hug or even a high five. All of that expresses love in that physical touch kind of way. In some of the previous videos, I have spoken in Italian and Spanish. And for some of you who don't speak those languages or don't fluently speak in those languages, you probably didn't understand what I was saying until I translated fuerte into strong, or when I translated what I was saying from Italian to English. And in some ways, that's how these languages work. You might be able to pick up a word or two, like cafe or amore, but if you don't flow in that language, you won't pick up the whole context of the message. And likewise, with these love languages, if people are expressing one that's not your primary or secondary love language, but they're constantly giving you their own love language, such as words of affirmation or acts of service, you'll understand that affection and love is being expressed, but you won't fully register the message that you are being loved because we're not speaking quality time or physical touch or gifts. Whatever your love language is not being communicated. And so you feel love, you understand there's kindness, there's, care, but you won't feel that register of like, I am loved. And love is a basic emotional, essential need for all humans. So in this month, I hope that you and your family will choose to speak each other's love language and create a more healthy emotional environment for you and your loved ones. Take care.